Welcome back to you, baby dolls. I want to remind you of something, that you are my friend and you are a warrior of the fluffy slippers. They can't take us down. You know why? Because together we are stronger, more fluffy, and of course, more friendly. This is going to be a short thread. I have spent a lot of time thinking about this. I make these threads because I want to delicately and deliciously deliver you information in a nice format, and they're great. Will you make it? My thread is about will you make it? We're talking about crypto. We're talking about the bull market. We're talking about money coming in, getting injected, the cycle's playing out, but are you specifically going to make it? I believe you will, but in the next bear market, you're going to regret not selling. Unfortunately, everything is lining up such that we're going to get less euphoria. It might be more fast, it might be more aggressive, but the distance traveled for the altcoins might not be anywhere near what we think. And Bitcoin and Ethereum too. I spend a lot of time thinking, how can I put the message for you concise and clean? That's what I do here. So, friendly reminder, let's start with the basics. You know, crypto industry is now 419 million people big. I've made many videos that you like, subscribe, press the belly button on all to, and you shock the algorithm, family friendly show. You know this number. What is that 419 million comprised of? It's 219 million Bitcoin, and then 200 extra million people have poopy altcoins. All our favorite altcoins, including real DeFi, Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, including fake DeFi, Bug Eater, Chosen Coin, ChainLink, and all the others. Everything. 419 million people. That's a lot. There are too many people with scars of the past now. Way too many. Unless, of course, you tell me in the next cycle, we onboard 2.5 billion people. If we can get 2.5 billion people, or maybe just 2 billion, let's do 2 billion. That is a 5x on the user base of total crypto, which should give us 25x price increase, which would be fantastic from here. That's enormous. I don't think we're going to get that. You know why we're not going to get that? I want to show you why. This is the total crypto industry right now. It's about 1.1, 1.2, around 1 trillion. Okay, yes, it used to be this small, and then it grew 367x. Why did it grow that much? 100x of that was just Bitcoin. So in this part, Bitcoin did 100x from here, 180 bucks to about 20K. Ethereum did a 4,500x. It grew from a couple of millions and it went up into the billions up here. So this is Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why we got 367x for the whole industry. That's Bitcoin 100x, and then you have 4,500x from Ethereum. Then you had some altcoins, but they didn't really do as much as the value creation from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum was a true unicorn. 367x. Look what happened in the next cycle. We only got 32. Why do we only get 32? Well, primarily Bitcoin from the bottom, 3,200, it only did about a 20x to the top. Okay, about a 20x. But Ethereum did about a 50x from the top. So you can see 32x is in between 20 and 50, which is what Bitcoin and Ethereum did. And it's tilted towards Bitcoin. You can see a pattern here, right? Unfortunately, the whole crypto industry is only growing as much as the powerful Bitcoin and Ethereum growth now. It used to be just Bitcoin. We invented Ethereum. Who's to say we don't invent another blue chip? I hope we do, but we haven't right yet. I can show you the chart right now. Back then, in 2020 and 2021, we had ChainLink and fake DeFi Uniswap, which was real DeFi back then. These gave everybody the imagination and the spark, but it wasn't enough to repeat Ethereum, unfortunately. So Bitcoin, money creation, we started forking Bitcoin around 2013. Then we had Ethereum-focused narratives for that next cycle. So 2012, Bitcoin, 2016, Ethereum. Then we had Uniswap and Chainlink, the power of DeFi, pushing us into the third cycle. Now we've got the fourth one coming up, April 2024. What's it going to be? I'm here to show you it might not be what we think. So there are too many people with scars of the past now. You can see that's diminishing gains, friends. You can see that. I just already showed you this chart here. The industry slowing down. It's only about $1 trillion now. You see how these numbers add up. You're thinking, okay, well, if we did 367 and then 32x growth, what's it going to be for this one? If we just keep dividing by 10, it's going to be garbage. It doesn't make sense. I mean, or does it? If we do like a 3.2x, it puts us back to 2.5 trillion. Ouch. But then you just keep going lower and lower and lower, right? You never know. That might actually happen. If we do a 3.2x, which is around here, do we go to 2.5 trillion for the first type of wave? I know we're just guessing here, 3.2 trillion, and then maybe we don't drop down as much, and then you divide that by what, 10 again? You can't keep doing that, then your growth is too small. So eventually something's got to give. But you can tell the industry is getting too big now. These people with scars of the past, they have learned not to buy euphoric scams to the extent that they did in 2017 and 2021. So they learned, okay, they still buy the tops. They still buy green candles. They still sell red candles. But euphoria is getting lower. There are too many meme factories now too. You don't just buy one meme coin. Now, immediately within a day, literally a day to 2 days, there are like 20 alternatives. It sucks the attention. The network effect gets suckered in. Everybody makes all the meme coins. They're ruining the industry for everyone, but that's the game. That's the game. Most people will underperform in 2024 and 2025. Now, they probably won't underperform Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they're going to underperform themselves. Why? They're going to expect a minimum of 10x return from all altcoins here, but most will not be able to give it. Most likely, a lot of the altcoins, they're going to give a 3 to 8x from people's entry and then round trip it back, roughly to where we are now. And people won't expect this. Why? Because you're buying so early in the cycle. You're like, wait a minute, how am I only going to get a 3 to 8x? I bought in 2022. I bought in 2023, the bear markets. I'm not buying in the year after the Bitcoin halving. These people learned and they're going to be shocked because they're all doing the same thing. I'm here to remind you, don't get caught. The euphoria is going to be obvious. So this is the emotions. I believe this. We have to hold on to hope somewhere. I think there's going to be very obvious signs of euphoria, but there's going to be something to think about. Your portfolio probably won't be as high as it was in 2021. So just be careful of this because I hope it's higher, but most people won't. It's sad. I know it's sad, friends. You know, a lot of the people who recovered in 2021 from their 2017 portfolio, they made it all back. But they made it all back. Why? Because Ethereum did a 50x from the low. Because Ethereum did a 50x, all the altcoins did a multiplier on Ethereum. So it did either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6x on Ethereum. So they did 50x to 300x. You see? That's how people were able to turn, maybe they had 80 grand in 2017 top. It goes back down to like 8 grand and they'll turn that 8 grand into like 400 or 700 or 900. That's a very common story out there. Now, people didn't sell the tops, but they sold along the way. But they're looking at that portfolio quote of 80,000 at 2017 and they're like, oh, okay, I finished off with 300K, 200K. I beat my 2017 mark. I don't think we're going to get that again. It's because it's tough. Okay, it's tough. I'm sorry. We don't have a blue chip invented yet. Is there a blue chip invented yet? There isn't. So 70% chance. I've drawn the picture here. We plan for a disastrous scenario because if the good scenario comes, it's great. So also, if you find here treasure chest, you've seen this all over. I've posted so many times. Myth. Bitcoin is always profitable after 4 years of holding. This is the final myth of crypto. The final myth. We all know, okay, crypto is all a scam. We know that's true. Crypto drops minus 95, 99%. Everything's a scam. Everything's trash. There's not enough liquidity for everyone to exit, and it makes no sense. Yes, we understand all these. But there's one thing people still hold on to, and that's the Bitcoin myth. They believe Bitcoin always rises after those 4 years. That's the only thing that hasn't been cracked. That's what we call the 4-year cycle. Only thing that's standing. Now, you know one thing about markets. Roca Negra, the ETF, and all the scammers coming. You know something evil's going to come. You know it is. You can see it. You can see the movie playing out. You know when the bad guy's looking at the good guy? And the good guy's like, oh, golly gee, that woman he's traveling with, would be a real shame if her life was to go in danger. You know, that's how always the movies play out. You know what the writers are going to do? They're going to make us destroyed for believing in this 4-year cycle somewhere. The only secret to markets is positioning. Another secret here for you. Everybody's positioned for the 4-year cycle to continue forever. Now, they say they aren't, but they actually are. We know they are. So 70% chance that we stop here. I hope it's wrong. 70% is not 100%. So we're always going to leave the door open. And by the way, I have every right to shift the probability as we traverse through next year. If the price action is different, I have every probability. But I'm very scared about raising targets because I've planned for all of these. Friends, I've done the research. If Donald Trump wins, this scam still happens. You know what I mean? Like people say, oh, there was a big bull market after Donald Trump won, the stock market, and he's going to drop the business tax rate. I've factored all of that in. Everything you can think of. Yes, infinite QE again. Yes, yield curve control. Yes, yes, yes. I've priced all of it in. There is $7 trillion of US government debt that has to be rolled over in 2026 here. Okay? So even if they roll it over and they print money in 2025, guess what? I still factor this in. It's scary, isn't it? It's still not enough to push us up. Because they're scamming us. 30% chance, though, that we get the friendship scenario, which is Bitcoin, 120K. It's funny, 120K is a friendship scenario. Do you know how sad that is? That's because euphoria's been depleted. We are now in Bitcoin's 4th cycle. That's why. 30% chance Bitcoin, 120K, Ethereum, 12K. But see, you're not going to know which one. So, you know, you don't have to stay up at night worried, sick, thinking, oh my gosh, are we going to get the good scenario or the bad scenario? Guess what? You don't know. And that's okay because you have to act when Bitcoin's 80,000 anyway. You don't know what comes next. If Bitcoin hits 80,000 in like the first or second quarter of 2025, we will now have a discussion. We think, all right, friends, where do we think we're going to be in 12 months from now? Lower or higher? Because unfortunately, we all know everybody is positioned for higher, aren't they? Up here. No one's going to be at $80,000 looking down saying, wow, golly gee, we're never going to go back there again. Right? Or, you know what I mean? No one's going to be saying that. We're going to be saying that. We're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Everybody's positioned for this 80K to turn into like 160, 150K plus. Just keep an open mind for these. That's why we don't know, right? That's where this round trip comes. Remember, we're talking about, are you going to make it? So when this happens, when the portfolios are up there, it might not be enough. So when Bitcoin hovers at $80,000, will you exit altcoins even though yours isn't near its all-time high of 2021? You know, it's unspeakable. People are going to say, what do you mean? I'm in the altcoin. It's definitely going to come back to the all-time high, right? How do you know? I don't know that. There are now 419 million people in crypto. In 2020, we only had like 80 million. Okay? So we 5x'd it. Now, you might say, oh, we're going to 5x again. No, we're not. You know it's slowing down. We are not getting to 2 billion people. If we do, I mean, I hope we do. But we're not getting to 5 billion people. If we were to do that, the total crypto industry would be enormous. It would be freaking enormous. You see how this did a 25x, friends? Yeah. Do you think we're going to do another 25x from here? Just let me ask you this. Do you think crypto is going to go to $20 trillion in this cycle? I hope it hits here by 2030, by the way. That's still my goal, long-term goal. But do you think 20 trillion is going to be given to Bitcoin and Ethereum? You can split that a third each way, right? 6 trillion to Bitcoin. 6 trillion to Bitcoin will be about 300K. And that'll be a $30,000 Ethereum. And then you'll have 6 trillion to the altcoins, which, you know, that's not happening. Like you're like, okay, really? This Ethereum you might have, oh, that's going to be worth like $30,000. Now, when I say this, people will automatically, and this is how you get trapped, all right? What they'll do is they'll go back to early Ethereum days and they'll be like, see, you were wrong about Ethereum in the early days. Ethereum went from 31 cents ICO all the way up. You see, that's how they get you because that's what you want to believe. You want to believe the narrative from the people who hold the bags. They're using everybody new coming in as exit liquidity. They know people are coming in for number go up. So they tell them, look at this, we did 1,000x before. We can do another 1,000x, can't we? You got to be careful of that. I think, this is just my guess, that we can get to 1 billion people. Now, there's an enormous difference between getting to 1 billion and 2 billion people. Because 1 billion people, it's about 2x to 2.5x the user base. So you might do, like, let's say it's 2.5x times 2.5x, 6x on the total crypto market cap. So it would give about, 4 to 6x price growth, roughly, depending how we go, for the total crypto industry. And that's here. I posted the picture here. Yeah, trust me, it's a big difference. I know it doesn't look like much, but the difference between landing at like around here and then down here and then up here, those 3 rectangles, friends, 1, 2, and 3, they have huge differences in the implications. Number 3, if we land just at number 3, your portfolio is like probably on average person, minus 80%, minus 70% from the all-time high of the total crypto industry. Remember, this includes stablecoins. That's the total number. If we get to number 2, we could get around the all-time high of 2021. We can get that. You're going to have a bit of bonuses and surpluses and deficits in here because remember, this total market cap included Doge and BNB. So you're going to have to be new coins and Cardano, and they've now reset. Now there's going to be new coins towards the all-time high. And if you're lucky, by the way, you might get a double of your all-time high. Maybe plus 30%, plus 50%, or a 2x of your 2021 all-time high if you're in the right coins. So number 1 is really bad. Number 2, I think we'll take a tick from that. We accept that. If we got number 1, if we went up to that target, every single person listening to this becomes a millionaire. No question. It's another 25x basically in Ethereum from its low. It's enormous. It's freaking huge. It's like $15,000 to $18,000 Ethereum, $20,000 Ethereum, $200,000 Bitcoin. Every single person wins. Why I don't think that's going to happen is, remember, there's 419 million people in here. For them to win all that way, I think you need 3 to 4 billion people. You need a pyramid even more. But it's not even what I think. This is what's happened in the past. I'm not even making these numbers up. All right. I even continue here. So that total crypto probably will land around 5 trillion. It was the zone I drew here. That's zone 2. That's what I'm hoping. Zone 2. But most people aren't going to get there. So you think, oh, sweet, we all still win, right? Nope. No. Because, from liquidity and market cap, that from whatever the market cap is, only 3% of people can exit. 1 in 30 people are actually going to exit. 1 in 10 people, if you're conservative and you're like, okay, I'll give you a bit of leeway here. 1 in 10 people exit. So basically, when we get to the top, you speak to 10 people and you say, how much money do you have in crypto? 1 out of 10 of them are going to have it. Realistically, by the way, the real number is 1 in 20. It's around 1 in 20, which isn't that nuts, man? You talk to 20 people, only 1's going to get out. The next 5 people out of 20, they're going to get out, but at big losses. And the bottom 15 are just bag hold for the next cycle, hoping for the bigger one. That's what happens. Yeah. So that's literally that bottom 5, 6, they might either win for like, instead of an enormous win, they win for like a 2, 3, 4, 5x max, or they sell at like minus 30%, minus 50%, minus 80, 90%. That's what happens. That big chunk is actually what moves markets, the marginal buyers. So everybody in between, this is everybody in the community, everyone in between. Here you have the strongest hands and the weakest hands. These are the ones that actually move the markets, the emotional money. People coming in, oh, I want a FOMO buy, and these ones moves FOMO sell. It's like the top 5 and the bottom 5. All of us are in for a ride in between. Most people won't sell. Most people are going to hold out crypto until it's 10 trillion. 10 trillion for the industry. So they'll probably round trip the next cycle too. You will not make 50x to 100x as easy as you saw in 2021. I already explained this to you. It's because of Ethereum. So the 50x moves came. Why? Ethereum did a 50x from $100 to 5K. That's why in the previous cycle, this is the Ethereum chart. Ethereum was the reason gaming, NFT, altcoin, layer ones, why they even were able to give people 50 to 300x moves from the early ICOs or people to make money. Luna did like an 800x. All of these were from Ethereum bursting up. This is contrarian to what people think. What people think is just, oh, well, it's just a 4-year cycle. No, it's not. No, it's not. If Bitcoin was a 3rd cycle curse already, it was because Ethereum was able to move. Ethereum, unfortunately, is now into 3rd cycle curse. Did we invent another blue chip? No, we haven't. No, we have not. It would be fascinating if, say, ChainLink went on to become a blue chip creation, but I don't think so. That's just wishful thinking. Look, if something was a real blue chip, you'd see it in the chart. Ethereum did a 4,500x. You know, you could. It came from nothing. It is what it is. I'll be honest with you. Do you see anything in crypto right now that you can hold the flame with Bitcoin and Ethereum as the pillar? Do you see anything out there? Personally, I don't. I can only maybe show you ChainLink. Maybe. But I'm still hesitant about that. Why? Well, ChainLink, okay, it dropped. First cycle, right? It's dropped 90% from the top. That is super strong for a crypto. Bitcoin in its first cycle dropped minus 94%, minus 95%. Ethereum dropped minus 94.5%. ChainLink only dropped minus 90%. That's a big difference. Okay? That's something to think about. After it did, by the way, from its ICO, did a 400x rally. Okay? But there is something else to think about. It's possible Ethereum's ChainLink's minus 90% drop was only looking good. Why? Because it sucked so much in 2021. Maybe ChainLink was meant to go to like $150 where I was expecting it to, and it didn't get there. So if you drop it down all the way, look at this. If ChainLink actually hit $150, look, its drop is now minus 96%. So, you know, it looks strong, but is it really strong? No, it's just that it underperformed when it needed to perform in 2021. So I just want you to be careful. Ethereum now, 3rd cycle curse. Are there any industries out there that have invented it? You know fake DeFi Uniswap? If fake DeFi Uniswap actually put their tokenomics into Unicoin, they would be a blue chip. I would call them a blue chip. Unfortunately, they didn't. They've stepped on everyone. They opened the DEX is open source like everything else, but they lost it. They fumbled it. Why? Because they're soy drinkers. They got hunchbacks. They wear brown crumpled slippers. The corrupt SEC has tainted them. They're here to backstab the industry. They're going to be a main character in the next cycle, and they're going to backstab us with a sharp cucumber right in front of our face. That's right. Right in front of our face. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be lucky to see Ethereum do $880 to 8,800. That's a 10x. If you recall, what did altcoins do in the past cycle? They did a multiplier of Ethereum. They either did 1x of Ethereum up to like 6x. So Ethereum did 50x. So they did like a 1 to 6x multiplier. So they did a 50x to 300x. So if Ethereum in this cycle only does a 10x, well, what's 1 to 6 of that, friends? Most coins are going to be doing either a 10, 20, 30, 40x. But if we're lucky, and that's measuring from the absolute low. So we do have a chance. It's measuring from the absolute low. That's right. Okay. So if your coin, I'm just being honest, man. If your coin dropped minus 95%, all right, and then you do like your 10x, you're only down 50% from the top. If you do your 20x, you get back to the top. So this is the way it's going. We're going to be prepared. I hope things change. If things change, I'm going to be showing you how I shift the probabilities and what to do. But right now, you put a water pistol to our heads. What do? 1 year after April 2024 is April 2025. We say, okay, we got to shed something off just in case things get worse. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or will you make it? You are going to make it, friends. We are prepared. We're always prepared. Catch you in the next one.